Welcome everybody to Grapple FK. We are covering Warlley Alves against Mounir the Sniper Lazzez. This is on the It's on the Magni Chiesa. It's the co-main event on the Magni Chiesa headliner, I should say. But yeah, let's get into this. So Mounir Lazzez made his debut last year sometime. Was it about 6-7 months ago? I think possibly. Yeah. Very, very, very high level kickboxer. He's the head coach of the Nagira gym in Dubai. Warlley Alves is a bit of a veteran. He's been around for a while. 13-4-0. Mounir Lazzez is 10-1-0. Mounir Lazzez is the bigger man, longer reach. Most of his wins have come by KO and TKO. I mean, Mounir Lazzez is mainly a striker. I have seen him take people down, but not much in terms of BJJ. I think Warlley Alves has a BJJ advantage, but doesn't really use much grappling and so on in his fights. Has decent striking, some good low kicks, but what do you think, Andrew?
Let's talk about Warlley Alves. Warlley Alves exploded into the UFC some months ago against Abdul Al-Hassan. I bet on Abdul Al-Hassan because he's a fucking monster.
You mean talk about Mounir Lazzez?
Sorry?
You said let's talk about Warlley Alves.
Let's talk about Mounir Lazzez. I've had a few. So Mounir Lazzez burst into the UFC some months ago against Al-Hassan. Al-Hassan is an absolute monster.
He is.
Now, it's worth breaking down that fight because it's the only fight that we've got proper footage of in a proper organization. So in that fight, Abdul Al-Hassan does what he does, comes out the first second, blitzing Lazzez with huge shots that have put away most of his other opponents. And for the first couple of minutes, Lazzez is just covering up, probably blocking most of those shots.
He blocked most of them.
Yeah, and for those, but he's blocking most of them. But that first minute or so is looking really bad for Lazzez because Al-Hassan just backed him against the cage, and Lazzez is just doing this, covering up, which is true to form as a Muay Thai fighter. That's what Muay Thai fighters do. They cover up. There's no footwork. Instead of doing the intelligent thing and getting the fuck out of there, they just stand there and take it.
Yeah.
Now, that's good and bad, right? To me, it's nuts. And that's the exact reason why I stopped doing Muay Thai and switched to boxing, which is a far superior sport. And it looks nuts. Where you got someone like Al-Hassan raining down bombs on you, and all you're doing is just standing there. But Lazzez weathered the storm, and then it's as if he knew that Al-Hassan had just blown his wad and tied himself out. And there was a point about a couple of minutes in where Lazzez started smiling. And it's as if he knew that from this point on, he was winning the fight.
I think he felt his power as well because he took a few clean on the chin. So he's got a good chin. There were one or two in there that hit him very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he took it and he smiled at Al-Hassan. And there was a confidence there that, yes, I've taken the worst of it and now the fight is mine. And he went on to win.
Yeah.
And then we saw a bit of a clinic with kickboxing. I wasn't so impressed with his hands, but then I'm not particularly impressed with any Muay Thai fighter's hands. It's more about the combination of the 8 limbs.
Yeah.
But he's got phenomenal low kicks. Super fast, very hard. He was eating up Al-Hassan with those leg kicks. So it's like the nice elbow entry and just
these.
Yeah. Just doing really good Muay Thai and just slowly but steadily picking apart Al-Hassan. Took him down 4 times. But I think, you've got to put that in context.
Do much.
Yeah, that's the thing. First of all, Al-Hassan was knackered. Al-Hassan's not a wrestler, a BJJ guy. I don't think his takedown defense is great. And as you said, when he was there, Lazzez didn't do a whole lot. They were stood up very quickly by the referee, but even still, in that time, Lazzez hadn't really progressed his position. He wasn't threatening any ground and pound or submissions. So it looks like a pretty rudimentary ground game there. So Sorry, go on.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah. So what we know about Lazzez is he's a sick kickboxer. Not much of a ground game.
Not much of a ground game, exactly. And he's got a chin.
Yeah.
He's durable.
He's durable. And what I like about him is just that confidence. Where
Yeah, he didn't panic. A lot of people would panic. Most fighters would panic in that position, I think, because Al Hassan hits hard.
Yeah.
And he's KO'd, what, 4 or 5 people in the first round in the UFC? Yeah. So he didn't panic at all. He just covered up, stayed relaxed, found 1 or 2 shots, and then got, I think what really, I mean, Al Hassan did blow his wad, but I think in the middle of all of that, Al Hassan caught him with a very well-timed knee to the midsection, really well-timed.
Mm-hmm.
And that also kind of, I think Al Hassan thought, fuck, this guy is like very dangerous, because if you actually look at the ratio, the way that at the end of the fight, if you know, they give you that body chart of how many strikes you landed.
Yeah.
How Mounir Lazzez's was almost a third, and a third. So he was hitting at the lower section, the midsection, and the head. Whereas Al Hassan was 80% head, 90% head. So this guy is going for every part of your body.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes it more difficult to time, to predict what he's going to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
What I realize is just that confidence. You're getting banged.
For your debut as well. You know?
Sorry?
Your debut in the Middle East, where originally North African, but he trains in Dubai. And the way he got into the UFC as well, some bloke approached Dana White at his son's birthday party and said, I know of this Tunisian fighter, have a look on my camera. You know, this guy could be really big. And Dana White called Sean Shelby, and then Sean Shelby had a look at the footage and signed him. So, you know, going into that, knowing that he got in a bit of a weird way, and then you know, coming out with that performance, he's very, very confident. And he called out Mike Perry in the post-fight press conference. So
that'll be a good
he's
fight.
not lacking confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, talking of kickboxers, Warlley Alves is also a kickboxer. He's a Brazilian national kickboxer. And he looks okay. His kicks are decent.
It's nice kicks.
Striker, but there's levels to this ting.
There is.
And, you know, Lazzez is here. Alves is down here. Just levels, man. And one of the things I don't like about Alves, I mean, aside from the fact that the kicks are a little bit more telegraphed, they're not quite as sharp, not quite as quick. What I don't like about Alves is that he'll just throw single hooks. He'll just come into range and just throw bombs like this. Against a guy like Lazzez, he's going to get countered.
Yeah.
He's going to get a right cross in the face when he does that.
Or elbow up the middle or something.
Yeah.
He does that elbow up the middle as well, doesn't he? Quite well.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this is a stand-up match, Lazzez bangs Alves hard.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think that as well.
Up the
think. Did you?
In the face.
Yeah. Alves will be in a wheelchair after this, probably.
Yeah.
And not because of the fight. No. Did you watch the James Krause fight? As in, he got the better of Alves standing up, and James Krause is mainly from a BJJ background.
Krause is quite good everywhere. I mean, he's striking.
His striking's good, but you know, not the best. Not the best. Does throw a lot of volume.
Yeah. But I think your point is, if Alves is having trouble with Krause,
exactly. Yeah.
And
they're both around the same height as well. Mounir Lazzez is 6'1", Krause is 6'2". So if he really struggled against Krause on the feet, then you know, Mounir Lazzez is a lot more polished than Krause in terms of stand-up.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna get banged.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know too much about Alves's BJJ. I've seen him do one or two things, but I'm not too sure about his BJJ.
It's good.
His grappling. Is it good?
It's good, yeah. So one thing he doesn't go for a huge amount of takedowns, but what he does is he gets takedowns off kicks. He's done that a lot. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen against Lazzez, because Lazzez doesn't seem to throw middle kicks. It's either low kicks or head kicks, as far as I've seen, at least in that one fight. So I think it's going to be difficult for Alvez to get the takedown that way. But when Alvez is on the ground, he's typically in a dominant position. He's got something like 3 guillotine chokes. That's
in the
his
UFC.
thing. You know, some BJJ guys just have one thing that they're just godlike at, and he's amazing at jumping into guillotine and submitting people.
Yeah, let's check what kind of he's beaten Kobe Covington. He guillotine choked Kobe Covington. That was 6 years ago now. Guillotine choke Nordin Taleb. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. Yeah, the guillotine choke.
Yeah,
he's also been triangle choked himself, but I've seen barely any BJJ from Mounir. So I think this probably be a stand up fight. I think maybe if Alves shoots, Mounir looked quite strong against Al Hassan, as in physically strong. I think in terms of like fending people off in the clinch and takedown. No, not on the ground. I'm just thinking if Alves does go for a takedown, I think Mounir will probably just shrug it off somehow.
That's the thing. I don't know. I would suspect if.
Yeah, I mean his takedown defense is 75%, but that's just from one fight, right? Against a guy who's not really a wrestler. So
yeah, I think if Alves wants to take down, he'll get it at some point. I mean, I'm just thinking if Alves typically gets the takedowns off kicks, he can do that off a head kick.
But Mounir throws kicks very, very quickly.
Yeah,
that's
the thing. Leave them hanging. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he throws it, it's done, it's back.
But that's the thing.
But yeah, that's probably the danger. That's definitely the danger in this fight then, because there's no way that I can see. Alves is a decent striker, but I can't see him winning on the feet.
Yeah, I mean the question is, can Alves get this to the ground? Because if he does, then Alves wins. That's it.
Yeah.
It's probably game over. He's either winning that part of the fight, or he's getting to the submission. The question is something that I've seen in a lot of Alves's fights. Sometimes he elects to take it to the ground. Sometimes he elects to bang. I don't know. I would suspect that he's thinking about his game plans pretty carefully based on his opponent, because obviously with his skill set in kickboxing, he's going to have the advantage on the feet. In some other situations, he's not.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that he's figuring out a smart game plan depending on his opponent. I'm hoping that he recognizes that Lazzez is going to bang him out and recognize levels. But you can't guarantee that, because if Alves is a national Brazilian kickboxing champion, he probably thinks he's pretty hot. And he may have a point to prove.
Yeah.
For his sake, he needs to just get it to the ground and do work on the ground. So this is a classic kind of matchup here. It's a stand-up game versus the ground game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and obviously we should say Alvez has got far more experience in the UFC. So he's fought obviously way better competition than Mounir has.
He has, but it's not elite competition.
I mean, Kobe's elite.
That was 5 years ago, though.
Yeah. But still, I mean.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, still, he's had a lot of experience in the UFC. Not elite, but some decent guys in there. Alan Joban.
He's actually fought. He lost to Usman, didn't he, Alvez?
Yeah, Usman beat him unanimous decision.
Yeah. So he has fought elite guys.
Yeah, he's fought elite guys. Yeah.
He just hasn't beaten them, apart from Covington.
The ones he's beaten are like mid-level or lower end of like the top 30, top 40 guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, So yeah, I think you analysed it pretty well. Another thing that should be mentioned, Andrew, is Alvez hasn't fought since November 2019. So that's a year and 2 months now. Over a year and 2 months. Pretty long time.
It's better to be active.
Yeah, it's better to be active. But I mean, he's young. He's 30. How old is Mounir Lazzez? He's very young, isn't he? 31. Okay, both young. Yeah, I'm. Let's get on to predictions. I'm going with Mounir Lazzez because he's so hot right now. No, I think he can keep this standing, and I think he's going to. I think he's just going to destroy Alvez on the feet, but there is a massive takedown risk. So I'm going with 60-40 Lazzez.
I think if Alvez wants the takedown, he will get it at some point. And then I think Alvez will be completely dominant on the ground.
Yeah,
could end in submission. It's a variable. We just don't know. The things with BJJ guys, yeah, they can get the takedown, but it's not a given. That said, I mean, for example, in the Randy Brown fight, there were exchanges, they're clinching against the cage. Then Alvez is aggressively pursuing the takedown, like manhandling him to the ground.
Then he got submitted, right?
If he wants it, he can get it.
Yeah.
Of course, that's up close where it's easier. If it's at range, he's got a lot of distance to cover. He has to explode into range and get his hands on him, which is more difficult. Overall, I think Alvez can get the takedown. And, the guy who decides where the fight happens has the advantage. So I have to give it 60-40 to Alvez, or 55-45 to Alvez. But in terms of betting, it depends where the value is.
Yeah, and I suspect the odds haven't been published yet or come out yet because it's quite far away, isn't it? Or have they?
Let's have a look. The odds are out. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so who do you think is the favorite?
I'm hoping Alvez is, for my sake, because I want to bet on Lazzez. Is that not the case?
So are you saying you think Alvez is the favorite?
Yeah, I think Alvez is the favorite.
Lazzez is the favorite.
Fuck.
Plus 200.
Minus 200, you mean?
Minus 200, yeah, sorry.
Oh, man. That's
surprising.
That's surprising. That's minus 200 is I'm not liking that.
I can understand. I mean, it's significant. It's surprising because he's only had one fight in the UFC.
Yeah, exactly. He's only had one fight in the UFC.
But then he did bang a killer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that overlooks the nuances of that fight. The nuances being Hassan has no cardio, no ground game.
Yeah, he's only got serious power and output in round one. Hopefully money comes in on Alvez and that line changes.
Well,
but I mean,
so Alvez is plus 163. A lot of value there.
Yeah,
a lot. So that's great for me. I'll probably do an independent bet on Alvez for the win.
You may as well just do a submission. He's not going to win any other way, I don't think.
Well, it depends. I mean,
possibly ground and pound, maybe.
Well, I mean, Alves could get him to the ground in, say, 2 of the rounds and keep him there for a significant amount of time and get the decision.
But if he's got such a BJJ advantage, why wouldn't he just submit him, save himself the hassle? Because I'm pretty sure Mounir has no BJJ.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
It just adds a little bit of risk.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. It'll be good to see just how if Lazzez is well rounded, I just love to see some of his striking again. To be honest.
Yeah, I like to see some of that striking.
Yeah,
I'd be happy to see. I'd happy to lose that bet and see Lazzez bang Alves on the feet.
I mean, Felder was getting a massive boner over him. He was like, "I want to train with this guy."
Yeah.
I can't do an American accent, but yeah. No, his striking is very good.
Yeah.
His boxing movement isn't there, but he's not really a boxer, so
It's classic Muay Thai.
Yeah, it's classic Muay Thai kickboxing, right?
Stand still and just bang. Like, you stand still.
Take shots and give it back.
Do not move. It is nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah. It really is. It really is.
I mean,
but he's built strong. He was checking kicks. He's a strong dude. What are you drinking there, Andrew? Let's let the viewers know.
It's my usual. It's called a Milano Torino, which is composed of 2 parts Campari, 2 parts Cocchi Storico, which is an Italian vermouth, and a few dashes of Angostura bitters.
Very nice.
It's very nice. I like it. Yeah.
Very nice. I feel like drinking now.
So, I mean, Lazzez is going to have problems with that style.
Yeah.
Muay Thai. I know people like Joe Rogan and basically everybody says, "Oh, Muay Thai is the fundamental part of MMA," and yes, it is in the sense that you want kicks because they're fucking sick.
Yeah.
Hands in Muay Thai, you do not want. You want the knees, you want the elbows, you want the kicks. You do not want the hands, and you do not want that lack of
footwork. Yeah.
You do not want any of that. Because it leaves you exposed to punches, it leaves you exposed to takedowns. It's just not what you want. I mean, you want the Muay Thai kicks, knees and elbows with proper classic traditional boxing. That's what you want.
Yeah, that's the best combo.
Or you be Wonder Boy.
Yeah, just be Wonder Boy or GSP. Yeah.
And do the Cobra Kai.
Just be really good at karate.
Yes. Just be the Beverly Hills Ninja and just fuck everybody up in the McDojo.
Go and sign up for an under 16 karate class and just fuck people up.
That's a good point.
I suspect the Beverly Hills Ninja did that at some point in his life.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I still need to call him out.
Sorry?
I still need to call him out, challenge him to a fight.
Well, I mean, if he watches the podcast, which he probably does, he got banged out quite hard. It's not much to do in lockdown. He's in California in a mansion, probably not allowed out.
We could do like a street beefs thing.
Street beefs. I fucking love that stuff.
It's great. Yeah. I mean, like, there's no talent on display whatsoever, but it's
some
great.
of them are okay. Some of them are okay.
Yeah, some of them are okay. Yeah,
some of them are okay.
Some of them are just absolute garbage.
Most, I'd say, probably. I mean, we're comparing to fucking the best fighters in the world here, right? So, that's who. Yeah, that's who who we review weekly. So in our minds, obviously, I mean, a lot of those guys would fuck us up, dude.
Some of them.
Yeah.
I'm confident I would fuck up the Beverly Hills Ninja in a bare knuckle fight. I'd
bare knuckle. Oh, bare knuckle is dangerous.
Well,
stick to boxing, dude. Stick to boxing.
Let's just stick to boxing.
Yeah, just stick to boxing with gloves.
Well, you know what would be quite good? You know, in English or British, bare knuckle boxing with the hay bales. Like it's
yeah.
Really small area.
Yeah.
So the bigger you are, the longer you are, the worse it is. So you want to be short, stocky, and powerful. So he's not going to have any room to do his kicks. Yeah, he just get banged out.
You can't kick in bare knuckle anyway.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So that's 98% of his game gone. The only other thing
Basically,
he could do is lean on you.
Yeah,
He's
if he gets you to the ground, he's a big
if he
boy.
leans on you, then that could zap your energy.
Yeah. We've got to think about.
But we'll figure something out. We'll get you on the Mexican meat. There's no drug tests anyway. Before you know it, you put like 5-6 kilos of muscle on, and you have a lot more stamina.
Yeah.
There's ways around these things.
I'm just beginning to realize how small I am compared to other people. Because
I feel small, and I'm 6'1", so it just feels like people are just huge.
Yeah.
Like the new generation are all fucking 6 foot and over for some reason.
Well, it's interesting. In my BJJ group,
Yeah,
I'm probably in this particular group of, say, 15 people at this point in time, I'm probably the third tallest at 5'11" at a stretch. I'm 5'11" at a stretch. But I'm probably...
Push a little harder, Andrew.
If I stand on my tippy toes.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm also one of the lightest.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are slim, so...
Yeah.
And we've never done steroids. Which many people have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of guys who are like 5'9".
And 85 kilos muscle.
Yes. Or even 5'8", 5'7", and 85.
Yeah. And they are a nightmare to grapple. I remember when I used to grapple guys like that in the MMA class, just fucking horrendous. Once they get on top of you, very hard to shift them off.
Yeah. It's just too much weight.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 6 kilos makes a big difference when they're on top of you.
It's a stone, right? Huge difference. If it's 6 kilos of fat, no. 6 kilos of muscle, definitely.
Well, 6 kilos of fat, I mean, it's all the same weight.
It's the same weight, but I mean, fat people aren't as strong, right? These muscular guys have got that steroid / weightlifting strength that they can apply. Yeah.
But even if you're obese, it's the same weight. They have to move off you. It's just...
Yeah. Having said that, I used to spar with some big dudes. One was 104 kilos. One was 95. 104. Yeah, a fella from Liverpool. He actually, when he joined the gym, he was around 130, and he lost 20-something kilos in 4 or 5 months.
Well, it's just a fat cunt, isn't it?
Yeah, he's pretty tall. He's 6'2". He's not fat anymore, but he was very fat. But yeah, he was a nightmare to spar with.
Yeah,
absolute nightmare. But
I think there's also something to be said for like manual workers.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are manual workers. The guys that turn up to MMA and BJJ classes, they're bricklayers, they're construction workers.
It's a different kind of strength that you and I don't have.
No, because you and I just sit in front of a computer all day.
It's the hands, it's the wrists, it's the forearms.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
Yes, yeah.
With that kind of strength, the only thing we can do is be very, very crafty, so be more skillful. And if you're not at that level, just try to be the aggressor. Put your face in their, put your hands against their face. Just make it as gritty as possible, because there's no way you can get the better of them in terms of pure strength.
That's what I tend to do. Yeah, it's like sometimes I cover their mouth.
Yeah, do anything, cover their mouth, whatever, cover their nose,
elbow in the sternum.
Stuff like that. Just make it uncomfortable. Yeah. And you find some people, they're 90, 95 kilos and very strong, but they get hurt easily. They get put off easily. So methods like that can kind of turn the tide. But that's the kind of shit we have to do, dude.
Yeah. But I'm annoyed. I don't consider myself to be a small person. But I looked at the average weight of a man in the UK, and it's 5'9" and 84 kilograms.
I mean, a lot of people are fat in the UK, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, obesity is a thing now here.
Yeah.
5'9" and 84 kilos suggests. Yeah, I mean that's a lot.
They're chunky or muscular or fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you get a lot of muscular guys too, but there are a lot of overweight people in the UK now.
Yeah.
Just trying to beat the Americans.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get back to the fight. So yeah, I've got Mounir Lazzez. I'd say 60-40. I do see a massive problem in his ground game, and I think if Alvez gets it down, there's a problem. So in terms of a bet, given that he's the favorite, I'm pretty put off by this fight now. So I'll probably maybe put it in the risky come, but even then, it's borderline for me.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm backing Alvez, so I wouldn't put Lazzez in any come. So I think Alvez on balance will probably win because he gets to dictate where the fight goes. The lack of takedown defense, potentially from Lazzez, and his definite lack of ground game is what can lose him this fight. The variable for me is whether Alvez decides to take it to the ground or leave it standing. I'm hoping for his sake he takes it to the ground.
Yeah, otherwise he's getting banged.
Yeah, so I'm betting on Alvez, probably just a straight bet, but I'd also look at the odds for a submission because that's probably his most likely method of victory. But I'd also, despite betting on Alvez, I would like to see a Muay Thai clinic from Lazzez. And I'd like to see Lazzez just bang Alvez on the feet.
Yeah.
Just bang him up the bum, in the mouth, in the ear. Whatever the kids do these days.
Slap it on the forehead. Yeah, the kids are
Slap
wild
it on
these
the forehead. When I was at school, they called that a Bismarck.
Bismarck.
A Bismarck. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe
there must be some kind of historical reference there.
Yeah, maybe Bismarck did that back in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe that was his thing when he was uniting Germany.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, the Germans are very out there in terms of their preferences, let's say.
Yeah. Fucking aggressive. Yeah.
But yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, method of victory. What do you think?
I'm gonna say round 2, Alvez via submission.
Okay. All right. I'm going with round 2, late in round 2, Mounir Lazzez via TKO. Let's do this.
That could also happen. I mean, that
yeah, it could happen potentially. Yeah, it could.
Or we could be clever, right? We're clever guys. You know,
reasonably.
You're a finance analyst.
Yeah.
I do whatever I do.
I still don't know what you do, but yeah, let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm also here. So
yeah.
So if we're trying to be clever, we could go for depending on if the odds allowed, we could look at a submission for Alvez and a KO for Lazzez.
That's a good point.
Lazzez does knock people out. Let's have a look at the odds for this quickly.
This is why you got employed to do whatever it is you do, Andrew. Moments like this.
Out of the box thinking. Yeah. Oh, they don't have those. They don't have method of victory yet.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that.
Okay,
later.
we'll look into that and keep the Grapple FK Mandem informed.
Sick.
For any Americans or people from outside of the UK watching, Mandem means gang in the UK. It's British slang. Yeah, for gang. Basically the gang, the squad.
The squad.
Yeah.
The squad.
The
Do
squad.
you have a mandem in your ends?
Mandem. Sorry?
Do you have a mandem in your ends?
In my ends. Damn, Schooler, you are picking this up, aren't you? No, not in this area, no.
Okay. Yeah.
I just mainly go to the graveyard at night and drink. But some people say I have problems. I just whatever.
I told my girlfriend about that.
She
She was like, "What the fuck is he doing? Why is he disrespecting the dead? I mean, why are you friends with this guy? He's strange. He's disrespecting the dead."
I sit in a
What
bench.
are you doing?
In front. It's not in.
And he said, "Well, but where's this guy from again? Like, he just doesn't respect people in your country. Like,
Is he brown?" Oh shit! Yeah,
So,
I should stop doing that. But
it's actually fine if it's a nice graveyard.
it's a very nice graveyard. It's 19th century, so no one recent. It's like all like 1862 and 1840 or whatever.
Yeah, and you need somewhere to drink at the
Very nice tombstones. Sorry?
You need somewhere to drink at the moment. So
exactly.
Why not next to the other 14-year-olds,
Yeah. Sniffing glue somewhere. Yeah. That's the UK at the moment, folks. Not much to do.
It is, yeah.
But all right, I think that's it. So we've both got, no, we don't. I've got Mounir Lazzez, Andrew has Warlley Alves, and we will be coming out with more fight picks very, very soon.
Sick.
Over the weekend and whatever, for the rest of the year, basically. Stay tuned. Please like, please subscribe, leave comments, call us sexy, do whatever you want to do. Have a great evening. Bye.